What's going on, guys? Today I wanted to talk a little bit about crit power and why it gets a bit of a bad rap. So I went ahead and did a little of my own testing for melee and ranged on different characters with different properties, different difficulties even, just to kind of get an idea of how it all compares. So first off here, I am Bounty Hunter and I'm shooting some Chaos Warriors, running 20% power versus Chaos, 40% crit power, and as you can see, every time I crit, I do a lot of damage. But when I don't, not so much. Here I've got a Bile Troll and I'm shooting it, and when I'm critting, I'm doing like about 100 more damage on a headshot than I would normally. Now something I see people saying a lot is that like crit power doesn't do that much more damage than just power verse stuff. And I think we can see here that that's just clearly not the case. When you do crit, you do lots of damage. Then I went on to Witch Hunter Captain, just running a charm of 10% power versus chaos and 20% crit power and crit chance and attack speed on my melee weapon. And so I'm doing a couple non-crits to the head, followed by some crits to the head, and as you can see, there's a pretty dramatic difference. I followed it up with some body shots, and as you can see, non-crit body shots, about 36 there. This is on Kata, by the way. About 36 for the body shots, and eventually I go to crit. I tagged this guy, I think by mistake, but I hit him in the body, and I mean, that's, even without the tag, that would be over 100 damage. That is a dramatic difference. As you can see, I crit for 151, and then I spawn another guy. I tag him to the body, and it's about 43. Simply here with just 20% crit power, going for headshots, about 47 on a fully charged rapier headshot. Followed up with some body shots. That first one was a crit, that 115. 32 on a non-crit, so I mean, it's a really big difference. Followed up with some crit headshots, 162. 151, 115 to the body. I mean, the crits are dramatically more powerful. Now I switched to a class that doesn't crit so much. This gun on it had 10% power versus infantry, 10% power versus Skaven, and I had 20% crit power on my trinket. So I just spawned chaos enemies, so the charms on my gun aren't affecting here. It's just the crit power. And as you can see, on a class like Ironbreaker that doesn't crit a lot, what people say about crit power, how it's useless and stuff, it kind of is. Because look how many times I have to shoot with this gun. I haven't gotten a crit yet. So the thing about crit power is, I like it. I really like it, but for certain classes. I'm talking high crit chance classes like Shade, Huntsman, Bounty Hunter, Witch Hunter Captain, Handmaiden with the right setup, Sister of the Thorn, Pyromancer, you know, I mean, I spawn all these enemies. No crit, no crit, no crit, no crit. I still haven't got a single crit yet with Ironbreaker, which is why it's almost pointless to run, not almost pointless, it is pointless to run crit power on a class like this, like a Foot Knight, like an Ironbreaker, like probably even a Mercenary. Even though he gets a little extra crit chance, classes like this that don't crit that often, it's just not worth it because you're not getting any bonus damage. You might as well just run a power verse something. So after all these shots, after all this time wasted in Modded Realm, I'm still killing stuff, and I finally get my first crit. And yeah, it's a nice big chunk of damage, but by the time I get that, I've wasted so much time and so much ammunition that it's really not worth it on a class like Ironbreaker. Or a tank class, you know? Even something like Waystalker, that is a high damage kind of class, doesn't necessarily have a ton of crit chance. So running crit power on it isn't going to be helpful. Crit power, I think, is pretty good. Even just running 20% on the right class can be really nice. Crit power, the bonus damage applies to all types of enemies. It's not restricted to chaos. It's not restricted to infantry or Skaven or one type of enemy. It's everything, but it's only as long as you can crit. So when somebody tells you that crit power is worthless, they're half right. It is worthless on certain classes, but on other classes, I think it's great because it allows you to do buttloads of damage, assuming you can crit. There's always that little caveat. Can you crit? But yeah, guys, I just wanted to kind of take a little look-see at crit power and how it kind of compares on different classes, different weapons, sort of test like the damage differences. Because I do see a lot of people saying that it is worthless, and I don't believe that. I don't believe it's worthless. I think it can be made to be used right in a fair amount of scenarios. So that's it for me, guys. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. I have a Discord. Link is in the description down below. Feel free to join. Almost got 1,200 people in there. That's pretty cool. Would love to hang out with you and play Vermintide sometime.